To give a little bit of context for anybody who haven't seen it, which I'm pretty sure everybody should have done seen this. I'll play a little clip for y'all.
No one ever saw me put on a Santa Claus suit. We got a wardrobe department. They made a Santa Claus suit for me. Why that wasn't in the bloopers? Why? And here's the other thing. Everything that Money Mike said, Katt Williams wrote. So what Ricky Smiley say on his? You can't say my lines, I wrote them. That's how I already know that I'm going to be funnier than you. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business. And 7 people. How they all end up with that. That's part of what you get. I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn.
For context, for him finishing that, he said, race is not where the line is drawn. It's God on this side, and then it's the other side.
Mm-hmm.
2 things about what he said was wrong, or not accurate. Okay, he said the part about Smiley. Okay, if he tested for the Money Mike, then we don't know what lines they gave him. So when they decided to choose him to play Money Mike, Katt Williams, then of course he would have his own lines. They wouldn't be the same. If they say, Katt Williams, you're gonna be Money Mike. Here, write your lines. So they're not going to be the same lines that Ricky Smiley would have been saying as he's practicing. And the only person that can confirm that is Ice Cube. They need to call Ice Cube and say, look, did you call Ricky Smiley? He'll be Money Mike first, and then y'all decide to go with Katt Williams. If I hear Ice Cube say that, then we know that Ricky Smiley is telling the truth. And maybe he just didn't tell Katt Williams. Part 2 in Hang with Mr. Cooper or whatever, and then Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey was never the principal. He was the teacher, and he was in love with the principal, Regina. So that ain't factual either. Maybe they got some of the same
characteristics. I know, but still, you
like
can see those similarities.
You say, crackish. Maybe he got some crackish similarities, but he was never the principal on that series. I watched that. He was a school teacher. So just saying for accuracy's sake.
There's definitely still no similarities there.
Yeah, it's a lot of similarities in a lot of stuff.
Steve Harvey didn't have no kid at home. He didn't have no best friend at home, like said or whatever, as far as the sitcom goes. So it's definitely some different things going on as far as the Steve Harvey show compared to the Mark Curry show. So, yeah.
So,
I think the memory of going to a sold out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a stand.
I don't know what his beef with Kevin Hart is.
Okay, so there's this old interview on the Breakfast Club with Kevin Hart. Yeah, no problem. There's this old interview on the Breakfast Club with Kevin Hart, where Kevin Hart pretty much says that, and Katt Williams said it, and it's honest to God truth, that every script that Kevin Hart has done has passed through Katt Williams first, because Kevin Hart said Katt Williams was the man. He was like, you were the man. You were the one that was set up. But what he said was the reason why Katt Williams didn't do that. He said it was drugs. He literally says, Charlemagne asked him why did that happen. He said he chose drugs. Now, I believe that part is a lie. I honestly believe the Katt Williams part where it was like, listen, I don't want to do none of this gay stuff. And all the scripts that we have, there's kind of like those innuendos, not really like gay stuff, but there's like gay things in it that he didn't want to do. Now, I was trying to think of the Kevin Hart movies that I watched, and I'm like, well, I don't remember seeing any of that stuff in any of those movies. So
there is.
Because there's clues I think you not.
It's like subliminal shit, and it's always some
That's
weird.
the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like some weird subliminal shit. Like if you watch Soul Plane, like yeah, it definitely is some weird. Like you just be like,
But
Okay.
is Kevin Hart doing those things, or is it other people around him? Because Cat Williams made it seem like they were like his character that was supposed to do those subliminal message stuff, and that's what I was like. I don't remember Kevin Hart having any of those subliminal message stuff in his show, but it also could have been switched around too when Kevin Hart came on and Cat Williams said no, right? So.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of what Katt Williams said seems like it has some truth to it, but
Hmm.
I don't
I
know if all that was
mean,
factual. You know, sometimes when you mad and you tell the truth, that sometimes you can paint more of your side of the truth
Yeah.
yeah,
than, and I don't think everything he was saying was a lie. I think it was the truth, maybe in his mind, maybe not the truth, or maybe there was some part of it left out.
Hmm.
Because Ricky Smiley said in the video that he saw when he was making his rebuttal back to him, that he said, "Look, I was in Atlanta in my F-150 truck with my granddad, and he said I saw Katt Williams walk into Starbucks, and he blew the horn and said, 'Hey man, we talked, we everything good?' He said, 'Man, come have some coffee with me.' He said, now in that meeting with them, they chop it up, man, and he thought everything was cool. He said, 'Look, man, my granddad's a real big fan of yours. Come out to the truck too, man, speak to him.' And his granddaddy said, 'Man, you're doing fantastic things, young man. Keep it up.' He said him and Katt Williams dap it up. And he said, as far as he knew back then, I forgot what year he said it was, that he thought everything was cool. And then he went on his national show and said, 'Look, if I did anything wrong to you, man, I apologize. I thought everything was cool. I didn't know it was all like this.' So
And I'm
to
right
I
there
me,
don't.
with you. Oh,
to
go ahead,
me,
Lydia.
to me, if somebody say that, man, I'm tending to believing.
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people try to say that Cat Williams was on drugs, and I'm like, prove it. Where's the proof for that? And
Uh-huh.
everybody's like, because okay, haven't we had drug dealers come out and say that they dealt drugs to like Hollywood people?
Hmm.
So
But
ain't nobody gonna come out and say what drugs they dealt to him.
he was on drugs. He admitted himself when he
What
was on.
drugs?
He
And
admitted
that's some of the
himself.
stuff he was saying though.
He
That's some of the
said,
He
stuff
said
he
he
was
never
saying.
did. He said he never did any hardcore drugs. He said he smokes weed.
okay,
That's it.
weed is a drug. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, sir.
I'm just saying. I'm saying what he said. He said, "Look, he think if you don't
God,
stop me, and I don't have weed in my car, or if I don't have a gun
Yes,
on me,
because and that's how they get him, and that's how he's been arrested all of
okay,
these times.
I
That's not like yes, because he has a legal substance that's illegal in certain states. Duh.
no, I'm just answering your question. You said, where's the proof? It
No,
came out
but
of
they
his.
said no, but they talk like the way they make it sound like if he's on crack. Where's the proof?
I ain't never heard nobody say Cat Williams was on crack. All I heard him say
I
he did.
have.
what's going on,
I don't think
JG?
Because
I've
when
heard.
Appreciate
you
you coming through,
when you
bro.
say drugs,
Yeah, what
when
up?
you
What up?
say drugs, and I'm looking at you like, what type of
Yeah,
drugs?
yeah.
Because we ain't gonna sit here and be like, oh, he smoked weed. Who? I
But you
know
see
so
that.
many people that do. We're not doing
But you see
it.
that's the thing. When us weed smokers, we don't think weed is a drug, right? We it's like you said, it's a herb. You know what I mean? Like when we think drugs, we're thinking crack, heroin, and those type of things, right? But I,
Pills.
yeah, exactly. When I think drugs, but technically, yeah, weed is a drug. You know what I mean?
We think
In
it's stuff you
certain
can't
states.
use for medical reasons that you use weed
Yes,
for.
Bro,
No, or shit that you
exactly.
can use for medical reasons, because there's a lot of people addicted to prescription drugs. So
exactly.
no,
When I
like,
hear
bruh,
when I hear narcotics, that's when I think of the heavy stuff. But I'm just telling you now how I'm speaking law enforcement point of view. I done locked up a lot of people for weed because it's illegal. I ain't saying that it's wrong or
in
right.
certain states.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying that it's going to be legalized in South Carolina. If you come through here, you're going to get some time. All I'm saying to you.
Bruh, that's the only
I don't
thing
been to court
is
for it,
like
dog.
the United States. I'm just like, come on, South, come on, South,
So here's a
stop.
question I would ask you, Danny.
We're in the
Like
Bible Belt, girl.
I
Danny,
know,
if
I
I'm
you
gonna have to
know.
listen
check out
to
Ice
me.
Cube response saying stuff.
Oh yeah, I
Hey,
seen it there too. I didn't check it out yet either. But I was gonna ask you,
who
Danny.
respond?
Ice Cube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ice
He
He
Cube.
didn't
on it
say
night
nothing
night.
bad about Ice
Ice Cube.
Cube. It, it was a